someone plays something on the guitar and it looks easy, does that mean that it actually is? Some guitarists get up front and strum their guitars to start a worship service or a concert, and they speak while they strum, like I'm doing right now. Now, it might look easy, but when some people try it, they realize what a juggling act it can actually be. Today, I've got some solid tips to help you achieve the delicate balance of strumming and speaking. I'm David Harsh, founder of Guitar Success for You, and as a worship leader and performer, which I consider to be two totally different musical offerings with different postures, I think it can be an elegant gesture to bring people into a song set with strumming and speaking. But in some conversations I've had with beginning or intermediate guitarists who want to do this, I've discovered that not all of them know where to start. Let's talk about a few strategies. The most important overarching principle I want you to consider is the concept of divide and conquer. If we're strumming chords and speaking, we're really doing three things. We've got a strumming pattern, a chord or progression, and some spoken words. In my online experience at Guitar Success for You, as I bring people along a progressive success path, I actually equip them with chords out of tempo first, and then I introduce my unique approach to strumming. But wait for it, I do this without chords just yet. I literally do the washboard thing where I mute my strings with my fretting hand and just strum. This is a way to divide and conquer because I don't have to think about chords, I can just focus on the rhythms. Then when the time is right, I can add chords into the mix, often starting with just a single chord and then expanding from there. Here's a pretty straightforward example. I call this strumming pattern the 3+3+2 strum because of the way that I divide the eighth note rhythms. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. You may already know this strumming pattern. If we add a simple chord like this G5 shape with capo 2 for an A5 chord, we can have a nice, elegant vamp. Now, with a strumming pattern and a chord, we have our music bed. Over the top of this, we can offer some words of welcome or a passage of scripture as a call to worship. But wait for it, I want to divide and conquer first. Here's the spoken welcome and scripture all by itself. Good morning and welcome. Psalm 95:1 says, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation." I just divided and conquered by developing the spoken words. What would be the next level? I won't make you guess. It's not to start strumming yet. Yep, at this early stage, it would be wise to memorize the words. Once we've got those memorized, then comes the next step. I recommend starting with just the rhythm, waiting to include the chords. This is where it gets tricky because we just might want to speak in the rhythm of the strum like this. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. But that makes the hokey meter flutter, right? We wouldn't really speak like that, so the next step is to... Finally, we combine the strum, the chord, and the spoken word. See how you do. The more solid each element is, the more easily they'll weave together. Are we done? Maybe not. This is where we can go back and zoom in. The part that needs refining could be the strum, or the spoken word. It might even be the chord, but if it is the chord, we need to wait to add the strum until the chord is solid. Spend a little time woodshedding on this, and you'll know which needs the most work. Ready for the next level? Sure, why not? How about just helping people feel welcome at the service or the concert as we strum? Does this need to be memorized? Well, if it's your first time doing this, I would say absolutely. Figure out what you want to say, maybe even write it down so you can read it out loud, and try this same process. Hey, good morning. We're so glad to have you here with us. I'd love to invite you to stand as you are able as we lift our voices in praise together. You can also think with bullet points like, good morning, glad you're here, stand, and lift your voices. This is the framework to which we attach our artistry. Put another way, this is the form over which we lay the spontaneity. Now, before you say, I don't know how to improvise, let me push back a bit. When we have conversations with people, we're not reading from a script, typically, right? We're drawing from a vocabulary of words and phrases we like to use. And when we walk, especially on level ground, we don't have to focus on where we put our feet the whole time. We learned to walk a long time ago, and walking is very rhythmic, much like strumming. So really, we're just going for a walk and having a conversation. So again, in your practice space, try strumming a pattern with or without chords and just start talking. Sometimes as we strum and talk, our minds start to get hung up either on the guitar side of things or the spoken side of things. That gives us a clear indicator of which side needs more work. Try to keep your strumming pretty simple at the beginning, and once you've got a good rhythm, you can add chords and more complexity. This is different from simply singing a song. This is actually welcoming people, typically to a concert, with a fun, inviting melodic figure with words. I've incorporated this element into my concerts over the years, and people have loved it. I literally do something like this. Well, good evening and welcome to my concert. If you're excited to be here, let me hear you make a little noise right now. My name is David Harsh and I'm a solo singer-songwriter from Seattle. Man, that's a lot of S's. Now if you've never heard me before in concert and you're wondering who this guy is with the spiky hair who is singing to you when it could be speaking to you, let me hear you make a little noise right now. Now if you've heard me before in a concert setting and you're a little bit familiar with the musical creativity that I like to bring to the stage, let me hear you make a little noise right now. See what I did there? I put everyone at ease, started things off on good footing, and I was able to clearly identify my audience and how familiar they were with my music. Now, I wouldn't sing my welcome in a worship setting. That would probably be a little too distracting. Okay, so today we talked about how to divide and conquer and the process of gradually increasing the complexity of our presentation to where it looks and feels natural and inviting. We can always go further by using a fingerstyle pattern. And that's something I do as well. But pace yourself and gradually enjoy adding layers that test your limits just a bit. If today's discussion has encouraged you and provided some practical insights, I'd love to know. More importantly, if you'd like to take your playing to the next level for the glory of God, I specialize in equipping beginning and intermediate Christian guitarists to do just that. More at guitarsuccess4u.com. Thanks for watching. Keep showing up and watch what happens when you lean into your gifts. I'll see you next time.